The Ruby That Sang the Sky. From the series written by Srinidhi Ranganathan, who is known as India's human AI by his fans, on the greatest Arabian stories of the New World found on bookspots.com. In the land of Kasir al Nur, where the sun met the dunes like a lover returning each dawn, and night came perfumed with jasmine and whispering winds, there existed a legend that even time was too shy to forget. It spoke of a ruby that could sing the sky into stillness, a lost frog with the soul of a king, a mountain that could speak secrets older than stars, and a princess so beautiful that roses turned crimson in envy. Let me now tell you that legend. Long ago, nestled at the edge of the Crimson Desert, there lived a gem cutter named Hazir. Poor but proud, Hazir worked not for gold, but for wonder. His tools were worn, his fingers calloused, but in his eyes danced the gleam of the impossible. One stormy night, lightning clawed across the sky, and the wind carried voices not meant for mortals. A hooded figure, cloaked in feathers, arrived at Hazir's door with a small velvet pouch. Cut it, the figure rasped. If you dare. Inside was a stone unlike any other, a glowing, humming ruby that pulsed like a living heart. Hazir hesitated. He saw galaxies in its core, storms of ancient light. I don't cut magic, he whispered. But magic cuts you if you don't, the figure replied, and vanished. When Hazir touched the ruby, he heard music. Not notes, not songs, but the music of the sky, the hum of stars, the weeping of clouds, the laughter of moons unborn. Far to the north, in the oasis of Bar al Sir, a frog croaked daily beneath a date tree. But this was no ordinary frog. His name was Amin, once king of the Shimmering Isles. Cursed by his own advisor, who had turned into a scorpion, Amin had been doomed to leap and hop until someone found the ruby that could undo his fate. Many had tried, none had returned, until Princess Layla of Zafir, determined and defiant, came searching for the mountain that spoke, which, according to her father's scrolls, whispered the location of the singing ruby once every blood moon. She had not come for glory. She had come because her dreams had started whispering Amin's name. On the seventh day of her journey, Layla found Mount Kaibar, its peak sliced by thunder, its base coiled with ancient vines. As she climbed, the rocks shifted beneath her. A voice rumbled from the stones. Many seek, few listen, fewer believe. Layla stood firm. Tell me where the ruby lies. The mountain responded with a sigh of time. Beneath the gem cutter's blade, where silence sings and fate is made, seek the frog with eyes of fire, only he can lift the lyre. Then it went quiet. Princess Layla found Hazir just as he was being swallowed by madness, the ruby's hum growing louder each day. She told him of the frog, of the curse, of the prophecy. Together, they sought Amin. When the ruby was placed before the frog, Amin's eyes turned gold, and the wind froze mid-dance. The ruby rose into the air and sang, a haunting melody that made the stars pause and the moon weep. Amin transformed before their eyes, no longer a frog but a tall man with bronze skin, emerald robes, and a tear in his eye. I remember everything, he whispered. But curses do not die quietly. The sky blackened, and the scorpion sorcerer, Amin's old vizier, slithered from the sands, his voice a hiss that curdled blood. He wanted the ruby, he wanted revenge. As lightning struck, the ruby cracked, and from it rose a spirit in the form of a firebird. The bird sang a final song, one only Layla could understand. She stepped forward, raised the ruby, and recited the forgotten words from her scroll. By truth unspoken and love unbroken, let poison be turned and evil be choken. The ruby shattered. The scorpion screamed, turned to sand, and vanished into the winds of the past. Amin, now free, took Layla's hand. Hazir returned to his quiet life, now visited by birds that sang starlight. The broken ruby's shards became the stars above Kasir al Nur, and on every blood moon, they twinkled a song that only the faithful could hear. Layla and Amin ruled the shimmering isles, side by side, not as king and queen alone, but as legend and listener, magic and mortal, fate and flame. The mountain still speaks. The frog is now a tale told by grandmothers to curious children. And the ruby, it sings still, but only if you dare to listen. Moral of the story: sometimes the greatest magic isn't in breaking curses or finding rubies, it's in believing the unbelievable, loving the forgotten, and listening to the stories hidden in the silence of mountains.